Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again so much for our time together. Looking forward to seeing you in the services tonight as we continue our study in the gifts and the power and the moving of the Holy Spirit. We'll be studying the Word of Knowledge, one of the beautiful gifts of the Spirit that the Holy Spirit wants to use you and I in. But right now, I want us to go back to the words of Nathan the prophet to King David, beginning in chapter 12, verse 7. Then Nathan said to David, "You are that man. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I anointed you king over Israel. I delivered you from the hand of Saul. I gave your master's house to you, and your master's wives into your arms. I gave you the house of Israel and Judah. And if all this had been too little, I would have given you even more. Why did you despise the word of the Lord by doing what was evil in his eyes? You struck down Uriah the Hittite with a sword and took his wife to be your own. You killed him with the sword of the Ammonites. Now therefore the sword will never depart from your house, because you despised me, and took the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your own." Now I want you to notice that with the blessings of God come expectations. People don't like to talk like this today, but you have to understand God. God says, I do things because I love you and I'm in a relationship with you, and I expect that you love me and you treat me in the same way. Now he said, David, verse 7 and 8, I gave you Saul's house. I gave you Saul's wives. I gave you the kingdom of Judah and Israel. And he said, David, I anointed you king. And David, I delivered you from Saul when he tried to kill you. And he said, David, in verse 8, if that's not enough, I would have been happy to give you more. But rather than look to me and ask for more, you allowed lust to fill your heart. And he said, when you did that, and you followed up on that lust, and you had sex with Bathsheba, and impregnated her, and then killed her husband to cover it up, he said, when you did all of that, you, number one, despised my word, and number two, you despised me. And he said there are going to be consequences for that action. You're going to reap what you've sowed. He said, number one, the sword is never going to depart from your house. And he said, you're going to reap what you've sowed. You killed an innocent man to steal his wife. The sword will never depart from your house. You will fight until the day you die. And he said, secondly, you're going to reap what you've sowed, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Someone from your own house is going to humiliate you by taking your wives in public. What you did in secret, God said, it will be done publicly in front of all of Israel. Now, brothers and sisters, we don't like to hear things like this. We think that we can just do whatever we want and there are no consequences. But we have to understand that in every relationship there are consequences. Now, I believe in salvation by faith through grace, please. But I also understand that in a relationship with God, and God does not change. God said, I've done all these good things for you. If you wanted more, you could have asked me for more. But when we go out and sin and destroy the lives of other people because of our lust, our envy, our greed, we are despising God and despising the word of the Lord, and that will bring nothing but consequences into our lives. I challenge you today. Count your blessings. Name them one by one. And with every one of those blessings, realize God expects us to live a life that honors Him.